Well, hi there. This is Craig Haynes speaking. My students call me Dr. Dell, and you can learn all about me if you go to my website, craighaynes.com. You'll learn all about me and what I'm doing and what my background is, what I believe about teaching in mathematics. And in fact, you're going to learn how I've worked with a company called Triad Math Inc. to develop a whole program on how to win with math. And this is for students at all levels, starting with beginners, even students that don't like math or afraid of math, have bad experience with it, as well as students that love math and do well with it. And of course, we convert the ones that don't like it into students that do like it, and away we go. And it's a 5-tier program all the way through calculus, getting kids ready for MIT if they want to. But you've been told here that you can find a way to get some free training for your child on how to use this wonderful calculator that we've been discussing in the previous video, and how can you get the free training for us. So that's what this video is going to do. It's going to tell you how you can do that. Well, here's how you can do it. We have something we call the Practical Math Foundation. It's a training program for beginners, and that includes students that already are struggling with math and don't like it, as well as people that do like math but they're beginners. And we teach them all of the algebra and geometry and trigonometry that they will need for practical math. And it gives them the foundation for future study in the upper tiers. We call this Tier 1 and Tier 2. Now, Tier 1 actually starts off and teaches them how to use this TI-30XA calculator. And then it also teaches them some what we call pre-algebra, which is really just being sure they know how to do arithmetic properly. And then Tier 2 is the algebra, the geometry, and the trigonometry. And it all comes as one course. Now, what you can do is you can buy this course, and the very first thing that your student will do is will learn how to use this calculator. Now, this is the actual notebook that goes with the course. Each one of these lessons is a video where I explain whatever it is. I give them examples on the video. I ask them to work along with me. And then after they've done that, they're given exercises. So let's just turn ahead here to a random page. Let's see. Okay, this is lesson 7 on the x squared key. And I tell them how to define it. I tell them what to do. I give them examples of it. All this is done with a video. And of course, they're given this notebook. Then after they have done watch the video in the notebook, then they're given exercises to do. And these exercises then let them practice on what they've just learned. And of course, they're given the answers to all of the exercises. And indeed, sometimes then they want to go ahead and do even more. These are supplementary exercises. So they have lots of exercises to do. And then once they've done that, they take an online quiz to verify to themselves and to whomever is interested that they've learned this lesson. And once they've done that, then they are given a certificate that acknowledges they've completed that lesson. And then they go to the next lesson. And this would be the notes for that lesson that I use in the video. These videos are usually fairly short. And of course, they can control the videos. They can pause them. They can back them up. They can rewatch them. Because mathematics, if you follow the spike pedagogy that I've talked about on my website and explained, has to be self-paced. It has to be interactive. And so the students have to go through it on their own. Then they're given exercises to do and supplementary exercises, and then they're given an online quiz to verify that they've done it. Now, after they finish the calculator, the next section would be pre-algebra. And there are 10 lessons on that, and this is essentially a review of things they probably already learned in their elementary math, but it makes sure that they understand it. They make sure they understand the rules of arithmetic, how to deal with fractions, the various distributive laws and things like that, how to deal with squares and square roots and reciprocals, and even exponents. And all of that is Tier 1. So, where does the free stuff come from, you might be asking? Well, here's the answer to that. Tier 1, as I've said, consists of 16 lessons, teach them how to use the calculator. And then the second part of Tier 1 is 10 lessons on pre-algebra. So altogether, this is the training they get, 26 lessons. And there is a 30-day money-back guarantee period during which they should be able to easily complete Tier 1. So, you've purchased the course, you put your student through Tier 1. Now, during that time, not only are they going through that and you're observing how well they're doing and is this working for them and so on, you'll have a chance to think real hard about what you're going to do as a follow-up. Namely, are you going to teach them some algebra? Well, of course, this is the algebra that we do in Tier 2, the first section of it. And there's 10 lessons. And then we do geometry, and there are 20 lessons for geometry. And then after geometry, we finish the course with trigonometry, and there are, believe it or not, only 8 lessons that will teach them everything they need to know about practical trigonometry, because after all, this is just solving triangles in ways you can't do with ordinary geometry and algebra. So, you have a chance while your student is learning about the calculator and pre-algebra to think real hard about what you're going to do. Of course, we give you the syllabi for all of this, so if you want to teach this yourself, that's fine. Or if you have an alternative resource to teach it, that's fine. Just simply cancel the course, get your money back, and you've gotten these first 2 sections for Tier 1. You've gotten that then for free. That's where the free comes in. But what we find is many people decide, hey, my student's doing well. They love this approach to it. They love the spike pedagogy. And so they decide to go on and engage us to then teach them the algebra and the geometry and the trigonometry they need. And so they keep the course. And either way, we're very happy because we want your student to succeed in math. We want you to succeed as a teacher. If you can teach these things on your own as effectively as we can teach them for you, then you by all means should do that. Or if you can find an alternative resource that's just as good, by all means you should do that. However, I think what you're going to come to realize is that this is probably not only the most cost-effective program you can find, because after all, you don't have to buy expensive textbooks or any other resources. It's interactive, it's self-paced, and this program, once you buy it, if you decide to keep it, if you don't ask for your money back after 30 days, and you decide to keep it, then basically you've got it for an indefinite period of time, and so they can come back and review, and that's very important. Students not only need to learn material, they need to come back and review it repeatedly and practice and practice. And so you can do that with this. You come back, watch the videos again if you need to, come back and do supplementary exercises. And as you also have learned or will learn, there's a forum that goes with this where the student can ask questions. And in fact, if the forum turns out not to be enough, there's even an opportunity then to get one-on-one coaching help because coaching comes with the program too. Anyway, you'll learn all about that. But the bottom line is, why don't you start off and teach your student how to use this wonderful calculator with this interactive program. It'll only take them about 30 days to do it. And then if you want your money back at that point, that's fine. Then you got it for free with our blessings. Now also, I should be clear that this notebook will come to you in the form of a PDF file. And you will actually be the one printing out these notes. You'll print out these notes for your student one lesson at a time and put together your own notebook. This just happens to be my notebook that I use that was printed out. But we find that you don't want to give your student a big, thick book to start with. It's going to be very intimidating, even though it'll go very fast. In fact, most students only take about 50 or 60 hours to go through the entire course. It'll only take them probably about 10 or 15 hours to go through the calculator part. And you'll be printing these lessons out one at a time. So I wanted to make that clear. You don't get a hard copy of the notebook. You print it out yourself. And that makes it much easier for you, less expensive, and also much better for your student. And so this is Dr. Dell. When you feel that you and your student are ready, simply come to this page and enroll now and get started in the program. You've got 30 days to evaluate it, to learn all about the calculator and pre-algebra, and then you can make a decision how you want to proceed after that. In the meantime, I'll be communicating with you, giving you lots of free information, a lot of support. You'll have the forum, you'll have the coaching, and you ought to be off to a really good start in giving your child a great math education. So, Dr. Dell here, wishing you and your student the most success for your future, and hopefully I'll see you again at some point in the future.